Another blood-red sunset and yet another moon face, and still another 100 miles to my next resting place. Driving down the road, eyes on the horizon. Within my car, I'm all alone, but feeling good and feeling strong, knowing that this path I'm on brings me to myself. I'm driving.
Hey now all, I'm Joey C. Welcome back to another episode of Spirit Sherpa. This is the show that helps and encourages you on your journey to unlock your magic mojo. With me, as always, is the Spirit Doctor, Kelle Sparta. Hey, Kelly.
Hey, Joey.
How's it going?
I'm in my apartment.
No, you're not.
I have boxes everywhere. House.
You're in your house. That's not an apartment.
My house.
Yes.
Not an apartment. Yes. There are boxes everywhere, but there are fewer and fewer every day.
You have to be exhausted.
I am toast.
Yeah.
Yes.
And still, here you are, committed to delivering the message of Spirit Sherpa.
Well, I'm nothing if not a spiritual masochist. Yay!
Yay! Huzzah!
Huzzah! Yes.
So, today, we're coming back to a topic that we talked about before, but you received a pretty good email that you were like, no, this has got to be dealt with right now.
Yeah, Libby wrote to me, and she wrote me a very long email that I'm not going to read because it's too long to read. But suffice it to say that she has been dreamwalking for a while.
Okay.
And has not been trained in dreamwalking, and has, through the process of trial and error, figured out how to do some cool stuff, but having some problems on the Dreamscape. So, like she's figured out how to fly, and she's almost always lucid dreaming, and she can, make things happen that are not in the normal physical world reality and stuff like that. And so that's all great, but she's also being pursued by things on the Dreamscape. And most of the time she can put, blocks between her and them, or, intend for them to be stopped or whatever. And she can set little traps and stuff. But eventually, if she stays sleeping long enough, she gets too tired.
Right.
And she can't stop them, and they capture her.
Okay.
And until she changes dreams, she can't get out.
Okay.
You can look at this a couple of ways. You can say, it's your subconscious mind catching you. It's your anxiety. And she said she has anxiety in the daytime. So if you have anxiety, then that can manifest in the form of the feeling that people are chasing you. Mm-hmm. For me, when I had dreams, people chasing me, it was always that something massive was changing in my life.
Yeah. For
some of us, it's a portent of things to come. And she does have prophetic dreams.
Okay.
So that could be something that's going on there. But based on what she was saying, it sounds like there's actually other people in the Dreamscape who are fucking with her.
Okay.
This is the thing. This is what I keep talking about on this entire podcast is, getting in over your head without knowing you're in over your head, right? It seems that she has caught the attention of somebody who is kind of a badass.
Okay.
And they're coming after her. I don't know how she pissed them off, or, if they're just playing with her like a toy because they can, or if it's actually some coyote shaman out there trying to teach her how to do it better, by pushing her into a corner. It could happen.
Tough love.
The thing that struck me, and the question that I asked her, was everything she talked about was, running away or setting traps or escaping or becoming invisible, or, all of these things that are evading attention.
Right.
And none of them were turning around, facing the problem, mm-hmm. and telling it to fuck off. Mm-hmm. And she said that she knows that that's something she should do, but she just hasn't been able to get herself to do it.
Okay.
If it's an anxiety, I'm going to keep with the possibilities, right?
Yep,
because, I think I know, but hey, I'm going to give her all the options, right? Because this is a good object lesson for people. It's a great case study. So if it's an anxiety or a fear that's chasing you, the longer you run, one, the more tired you're going to get, but two, the bigger the thing's going to become. because the more energy you put into getting away from it, the more energy you give it into chasing you.
Right.
Because it's a push me, pull you.
Yep.
So one fuels the other.
Right.
If it's a person, then when you run, you're telling them that you're afraid of them, and they get your fear. Now, keep in mind, in the dreamscape, in the astral, whenever you're in alternate reality, the rules of physics in this world do not apply. We will still mentally be restricted by them because we forget that they don't apply.
Yep.
but they don't apply. And so the same thing works in the energetic. If you run away from a person, you give your power to them and they become more powerful.
Okay.
Now, when you've been running for this long and you've invested this much energy, because this has been happening for a long time for her, mm-hmm. and you invest this much energy into not being powerful enough to stop them, then what happens is you have to overcome your own inner resistance to that transition into taking your power back. Usually what that means is that you need an inner oomph to get through it.
Right.
And that inner oomph is typically fueled by rage, because you are pissed that you have been chased all this time. You are pissed that you have not been able to stop them. And you are pissed that they won't leave you the fuck alone. So if you get in touch with your pissed, then you can turn around and rage it at them to stop them. And that will also help you overcome your own resistance. It's as you're running, as you're trying to get away, just let the fear transition into rage. Like, fuck this. I am tired of this. This is bullshit. I am not doing this anymore. And then turn around and just go, fuck off. And you just like throw energy at the other person and whack them down.
So anger being the intense emotion and it being emotion driven, it's kind of like fire starter.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes. So here's the thing is that when you are in this state of being fearful, this fearful state, we think that fear makes us smaller. Mm-hmm. We believe that fear makes us smaller. But in actuality, fear is actually not that far away from anger. Right. Because internally, we know that we are fully powerful. And internally, we know that nothing gets to mess with us without our approval. Right. And so on some level, she's invited this, right? And so what she has to do is turn off the invitation. And the invitation gets turned off by going, I got it. I'm powerful. Fuck off now. Right. Mm-hmm. It's just, that's how it is. Kathy and I talk about this a lot when we're doing magical training with people. We're like, look, we know that we are the biggest bad in the room. There is no doubt in our mind that we are the biggest bad in the room. Yeah. And because of that, things don't generally fuck with us because we have a solid energy that says, you can try it. It would hurt, but knock yourself out. I'm not going, come get me. I'm not doing that. I'm just going, it would be unwise, but choose as you will, which is actually more intimidating than, right? You know, it's like, okay, you're so cute. When you can stand in that knowledge, that actually makes you more powerful, right? Because you believe it. And so the more you can stand in that confidence. And for those of us who are good at bluster, I'm really good at bluster. For those of us who are good at bluster, it's very useful in this particular regard, so long as you buy into it as you say it. Right. It doesn't work if you still engage your fear.
It's not fake it till you make it in this case. It's actually play the part.
It's actually be that person.
Thing. Yeah.
Oh, I'm afraid? No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Wonk, you shall not pass. Right? It's that.
Right. Exactly.
When you turn around and you blast that thing or that person or that shaman or that dreamwalker or whoever, or, that anxiety, who cares what it is? It doesn't really matter. When you blast it, if it's a bully, it'll crumple.
Yep.
If it's a shaman, it'll go, oh, you got it. Great.
Message received.
If it's your anxiety, it'll go, oh, you're serious. And you'll be like, fuck you. Yes, I am. Right? Mm-hmm. Whatever it is, it's going to stand up and take note. The only thing that might not stand up and take note is something that's not entirely sane.
Okay.
And you will occasionally run across things that are insane on the other side, but it's very rare. I've run across one. It's unlikely that that's the case.
Basically, the main message here for Libby is you got to put on the costume and you've got to play the role and you've got to believe it, what you're doing and saying. You gave us a couple of examples there about how they would respond, but is there any way for her to know once she does stand up and once she does sort of inflict this back, to know where this is coming from, whether it is a shaman or whether it is something trying to mess with her or whether it is her own anxiety?
Well, if it's another shaman, you'll probably get an acknowledgement of some kind. If it's a coyote shaman. Yeah. If it's an entity coming at her, she'll probably end up engaging a battle with it. Okay. Because it'll either get a grip and go, oh, shit, I thought I was playing a fun game and now I ain't. I better go. If she's strong enough in her anger. Yep. If she's not strong enough in her anger, then it may come back at her to try and win the battle. Okay?
So she's got to be prepared for that.
Yeah, you got to be prepared.
Yeah.
So this is why doing anger work in the waking world and getting really in touch with that anger in the waking world is really super helpful, because especially if you came up in an environment where your anger was not allowed, it may take a bit to get in touch with it.
Okay, so what do you mean by anger work? What is getting in touch with anger?
So I generally talk to people about, think about the things that piss you off. Okay. Just really engage the things that piss you off and let yourself be angry. I'm a big fan of yelling and screaming in the car. Okay. Because, it's a fairly enclosed environment and not going to bother people. Right. Because a lot of people who have issues with being angry are all about, I don't want to bother people. Right. So go park in a parking lot in the middle of nowhere and just scream and yell and beat on your car steering wheel and then smudge the crap out of your car when you're done. But, it's really about letting yourself be angry, because a lot of times people will be like, oh, well, I'm sad. Oh, well, I'm disappointed. It's like, are you though? You may be sad and disappointed underneath the anger, but I'm pretty sure you're angry too. Okay. Because when we don't acknowledge our anger, part of us thinks we deserved what we got. Okay. So it's appropriate to be sad or frustrated or disappointed or whatever, right? Because those are the core emotions. Yeah. But when we don't acknowledge the anger, then we believe we deserved it, and we don't want to be in that position. When you get in touch with the anger about it, then you're admitting that you didn't deserve it. And that's a big step towards recovery. Okay. So it's accepting anger as a valid emotion, which a lot of people block. Yeah. Okay. And that's true whether you're dealing with anger over grief or anger over frustration or anger over sadness or anger over, having been abused or whatever. Right. All right. And that's probably why it's part of one of the steps of grieving. Yeah. Yeah. Is the anger step. Okay. It's one of the 5 stages of grieving. So what else can we tell Libby? What else does she need to do? Is there something she could do to prepare for that point in the waking world? I spent a lot of lifetimes as a warrior. So in my mind, it's just like, yeah, I'm good. Right. Right. but going and taking a self-defense class. Okay. A martial arts self-defense class might not be a bad idea. So it's building up that confidence in the conscious world, which will help her also in the dreamscape. Exactly. Okay. Go to a kickboxing class and really just picture the people that have pissed you off on the bag and just take out your upset on that bag. Yeah. And it'll give you the sense of the impact of the connection, the bang, 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 as you hit the bag.
Yep.
And that physical impact has a somatic resonance within your energy body.
Okay.
And that sense of knowing where your body is and how to use it to beat on things gives you a sense of being competent in battle. And that sense of competence in battle gets embodied at a somatic level.
Okay.
That then will translate into the energetic realm.
Okay.
This is some really nuanced stuff here
Yeah,
that we're
it
talking
is.
about. This is really this is not beginner level understandings, but y'all have been listening to me for a long time now. So I thought I'd give you something a little meatier to chew on.
Well, in that sense, this is as much about the work that Libby's going to need to do while awake as it is about the work that she's going to need to do while she's in that dreamscape and being attacked, followed, taught a lesson, whatever it is that's going on. She's got work to do while awake that's going to help her there.
Yes. And all of it will actually help her with her anxiety as
Correct.
well. It's very interesting because whenever I used to do tarot readings for people, and I still on rare occasion will do it. But whenever I would do a reading for somebody and I would talk to them about something in one aspect of their lives, almost inevitably, it would be existent in multiple different levels of their lives. And it would be like, oh, well, it's in your relationships, and it's in your work, and it's in your spiritual life, and it's in your health.
Yeah, exactly. Everything's tied. Everything's connected.
My sense is that theme is happening within her life. I didn't get a lot of details about her life as it is. Mm-hmm. My sense is that that's going to be the case as she starts to engage this over time.
And it would probably help her, I would think, to start to recognize that theme for herself. If she can see that theme existing in other aspects of her life, then it will start to make it more concrete for her.
Absolutely. Libby, this is your call to your power. This is your call to unleashing your anger and standing in your willingness to claim your space, because that's at the core of it. That's really what this is about, is claiming your space, right?
Yep.
It's like, no, you don't get to chase me. This is my space. Go away.
Exactly.
I didn't ask for you. Well, maybe you did, but I'm done asking for you.
Exactly.
You can leave me alone now. It's all good.
Were there other things in the email for Libby that you wanted to address?
No, that was most of it.
Okay.
That was really what it comes down to.
Certainly.
It is a lot. Yeah. I know we've talked about dream walking before, but it was a very esoteric discussion.
Right.
Because we were sort of talking about it in the abstract.
Yeah.
I find it's really helpful when you have a specific situation to really sort of ground things into the stories. And so if you're out there and you have questions and you're going, I have this weird thing going on, write to me and maybe you'll get an episode. Who knows?
Exactly. Who knows? So you mentioned we did talk about dream walking before. In episode 58, we talked about dream walking and lucid dreaming. But this, as you mentioned, sort of brought it to a real life situation, an actual use case, if you will, to apply a lot of what we talked about and create new things that we didn't talk about. So it's really cool. Very cool. Yeah. Libby, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to basically record an episode for you. This is for Libby and That's everyone else who it applies to.
Yep. I just sent her an email today going, hey, I'm going to make this an episode. She was like, can you point me to an episode? I'm like, no, not for this, but I'll make you one.
Yeah. This one needs a special.
This is a special case. We love talking esoterics.
We do. And unrelated, this is our first episode of 2020.
Yes, it is.
We are officially in the new year now.
And spanning our third year of podcasting.
Exactly.
Oh, and I just want to say, y'all are doing great at sharing.
Yeah.
Message, because I keep getting emails from people going, my friend told me, I heard about it over here, blah, blah, blah. And so thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I'm sure Joey agrees with me on this.
Yeah.
We actually 1 week hit number 98 on Apple Podcasts in the US on spirituality. And that's because you guys are awesome.
Breaking top 100.
Breaking top 100. I know, right?
Yeah.
And that's because you guys are awesome and you keep sharing it and you keep telling people about it. And so thank you for doing that. Please keep doing that. That helps us to keep moving forward and keep motivated on days when Joey's shoulder hurts and my back is sore from moving. And we're both like, oh my God, I'm so tired. But we come on and we keep talking because you guys are out there and you're expecting it and we don't want to let you down. So
absolutely.
Thank you for being our support in return. And we so appreciate that.
And that's a lot to say about the message you're delivering here, Kelle, because people might be like, oh, 98, whatever, that's only top 100. But what you got to realize is there's thousands and thousands and thousands of podcasts out there. Everybody is creating content, but what it shows is that the stuff you're creating is really resonating with people. And I think that that's hugely important.
I got some statistics from Stitcher.
Okay.
And they said 125 million podcasts are created. I hate to say it, but I think they said every day.
Wow, that number seems really high for a day.
It seems really high.
Yeah.
But I think that's what they said.
I could see that in a month.
It's not in a year. It was in a much shorter time frame.
Yeah, there's a lot of content being created.
But it's
there
a
really
lot,
is. Yeah.
right? There's a lot to get up into the 100 in a particular category. And spirituality is a massive category. There are hundreds of thousands, I think, in that category. So for us to be up at under 100 for even a week is just stunning. And we've been in the 1 to 200 range for a while now. So, you guys are awesome. Thank you
absolutely.
for that.
Absolutely. It's a big part of, like you said, it's a big part of why we do it as well. You keep coming back because it's helping people. And that's it's a huge, huge boost.
Yeah. I get emails and comments on Facebook and in the Facebook group going, thank you so much. I just didn't know what to do. Yeah. There's a lot of people in a lot of areas that just don't have access to this sort of information.
Well, and we're happy to share it.
Yeah.
All right. So I think it's time to wrap up, but is there anything before we do that you want to sort of say to kick off the year, wrap up the episode, all of that?
Well, I'd like to offer a special, actually.
Okay.
I know that I said last week that I was doing a special on my energy scans and that I was doing $50 off.
Yep.
Well, I got inspired today. And what I realized is that people who have never had an energy scan are like, that seems expensive.
Yeah.
And people who have had energy scans are like, when can I get my next one? Because they know that there's the value in it. And so what I'm inspired to do, I'm going to make an offer to anybody who's never had an energy scan before.
Okay.
You can only do this if you've never had an energy scan before. And what we're going to do is instead of $250, which is what the normal price is, I'm going to make it $150 if you have never had an energy scan.
Okay.
That is a steal of a deal. I have never sold it that price before. I will never do it that way again, other than for your first time in the door.
Okay.
And that's because that gives you the opportunity to try it out and see how valuable it is, because I've never had anybody complain about the price for the second one.
Yep.
So that's my gift to you guys is $100 off.
Okay.
And I'm going to put up a link. And I have no idea how long I'm going to leave it up for.
Okay. That was going to be my question.
Yeah. I don't know. It'll be until I feel like taking it down. You'll have to get the link out of the show notes.
All right.
It will be the only place you can get it is in the show notes. It will be only for people listening to the podcast. I will not offer it up to anybody else.
Okay.
And so it will be in the show notes. And if you click through and the price is $150, then it's still happening. And if it isn't, then it isn't.
Right.
Because I got overwhelmed with way too many people booking or whatever. Right.
Yep.
That's what I'm going to do because I'm just feeling inspired to get more people into the process of really working on their own personal development. It's literally giving you a roadmap to your personal issues and giving you the order of operations for dealing with them in the most efficient path. And if there's a quick solution, I give you the quick solution.
Yep.
And if there isn't, then I give you some direction towards it.
And this is a great time, folks, to take advantage of that this time of year. It's an opportunity for you to start the year fresh and look at what you're actually going to work on. Last week, we talked about setting goals. This is a great way to help to define what those goals are going to be that you want to set. And
to see where the potential sabotage on your, outward goals might come into play. And awesome. How to unwind that.
Very, very cool. Well, there you go, folks. You don't even need a Kelle wrap-up because that just wrapped everything into a nice little bow, and you just have to open the gift. It's up to you. That's all that we have for this week, folks, but be sure to join in next time as Kelle adds another chapter into your guide to energy, magic, and the spirit world. I'm Joey C. here with Kelle Sparta, and you have been listening to Spirit Sherpa. So long, everyone.
Bye. Sweet dreams.
Each mile I travel over 13,000 now. I'll leave behind a little fear.
Spirit Sherpa is the sole property of Kelle Sparta Enterprises and is distributed under Creative Commons BY-NC-ND 4.0 license. For more information about this licensing, please go to creativecommons.org. Any requests for deviations to this licensing should be sent to KELLE@KELLESPARTA.com. That's Kelly@KelleSparta.com. To sign up or to get more information on the programs, offerings, and services referenced in this episode, please go to KelleSparta.com. This episode of Spirit Sherpa has been produced by Honu Voice Productions.